Over the past few weeks, I've spent some time talking about sustainable development, and with changes afoot for Queen's Island, I'm picking this up again this week. I'm joined today by James Eyre, Director of Titanic Quarter Ltd. James, just briefly, so that we all understand, what exactly is the role of Titanic Quarter Ltd?
So Titanic Quarter Ltd is the private development company behind the regeneration of Titanic Quarter, working in partnership with Belfast Harbour.
Over the past week, you've been at the forefront of suggesting that Queen's Island is going to be leading the way, and I quote, in sustainable development for Northern Ireland. What's that all about? What's happening and that we should know about on the island?
Uh, to date, the regeneration of Titanic Quarter has been very exciting, and as we say, we have been leading that regeneration through a lot of sustainable development. When we talk about sustainable development, you can break it down to look at the buildings we're creating, and in the particular subject of transportation, it's how we continue to enhance the application of sustainable transport for all of those that live, work, visit, and stay in Titanic Quarter.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. Queen's Island and its development over the last number of years has really been iconic, not just for the city, but actually for Northern Ireland itself. So this is interesting then. So I understand you're out to consultation and that's all about making the island much more sustainable. So one of the targets I've read about is that you aim to reduce new car usage on the island by a third by 2035. I suppose my question is, with everything going on in COP26 at the moment, is that ambitious enough, do you think, for the city, or should we be pushing ourselves a little bit more?
It's a very interesting question, and I think it's good to set targets that can be achieved. And we're hoping through working with everyone. And don't forget, this is not just a developer's role. This is a role for all of the citizens, all of the citizens of Belfast, to help achieve and exceed these targets. And what we're seeking to do here is to ask the public to fill out a questionnaire to help us and inform us as we create the new Sustainable Transport Master Plan for Titanic Quarter.
When you look around actually on the island, it seems that the construction work has already started for some of the construction that's needed, the cycle paths, etc. So by the end of next year, how will travelling around the island be different for me? What would be different this time next year, do you think?
Well, in terms of the implementation, we have a number of projects on site at the minute. We're building some new road infrastructure, and we're also building a series of new cycleways and footways connecting Titanic Quarter right up into East Belfast to Victoria Park, and enhancing its connections into the Greenway. So those are things you'll see on the ground at the minute. On top of that, we'll be starting to implement some smart travel infrastructure within the site that will help start to provide real-time information that will allow people to be better informed to pick how they make their journeys.
It's an interesting one in relation to it being an island, I think, because traditionally it hasn't always been the most accessible. I mean, I know myself, it's handy to get in the car, and maybe the infrastructure, the public transport hasn't just been there. So, from your point of view, obviously, that there's going to be significant changes in all of that over the coming couple of years.
There will be significant changes in the years to come, and don't forget the plan that we're working on is to 2035. Um, but in terms of infrastructure that already exists, you have the Titanic rail halt, and we're seeing you'll see more and more people utilizing that, the G2 glider, and the local bus services, but also the Belfast bikes. And when you look at even over the last couple of years, in the survey data that we have seen by increased utilization of public transport and the Belfast bike schemes, car usage dropping by about 10%. And if
Hmm.
we can continue to build on that, and by encouraging people to complete the surveys to help inform us of how they would like to travel as well more sustainably, we can really make a sizable difference here.
And James, you just want to give us that link again? What is the link for people to do the survey?
The survey online is at www.queensislandtransport.com.
Okay. Well, James, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for coming on board with us this afternoon. Everyone is heard out there. Get on to the website, fill out the survey, get your point of view known. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. You just get your point of view across, and that'll be picked up. So, James, thank you very much.
Michelle, thank you very much.
So that's it for this week, and don't forget your survey, www.queensislandtransport.com. So until next Monday, have a safe and prosperous week. You're listening to In Biz at Belfast 89 FM, the feature that's all about business and for business in and around Belfast.